Hey everyone, Joe Cosentino. Welcome to Coffee with Cosentino. We have Christina C. Fitness here today. Welcome, Christina.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, thanks for coming. You look
Of
great.
course, thank
How
you.
you
Thank you
doing?
for
How you
having
feeling?
me. I'm good.
Good,
I'm
good.
great, thank you.
So tell us, Christina, for people that don't know you,
hmm
where did you grow up? Where you're from? What's your background and your family?
So I'm born and raised in the Bronx.
Yeah.
Um, and wait, what else did you ask?
Well, where'd you go to
Oh
school?
yeah,
Where'd you grow up?
I went
Yeah,
to St. Clair's
yeah,
for
right around the
elementary with
corner.
your daughter. Yeah, and St. Catherine's for high school.
Nice.
And then from there, I did like 3 years in Westchester Community. I wasn't sure
Right,
really
what you wanted
what
to
I
do.
wanted to do. I worked at a daycare for a long time. And I thought that I always knew I wanted to be a business owner, but I
Right.
wasn't sure what. So I worked at a daycare.
hmm
And I always thought, okay, yeah, I'm going to just own a daycare one day. I knew I didn't want to work for somebody.
Right.
That's what I knew for sure. So I was like the whole school thing and then coming out of college with, all this debt, it just wasn't for me.
Right.
So
Were
I
you
really,
always, as a child, were you always into like health and fitness? Were you athletic?
so
Did you play sports?
in high school, I did competitive cheerleading
Okay,
for St. Catharines. So we went to
great.
nationals and all that. So I was definitely always athletic.
Right.
And then when I graduated, I just I was like, I was lost. I was like, oh my God, this took
What
up
am I
so
gonna
much of
do?
my time. What do I do? So I volunteered and I coached them for a year. And then while I was going to school and working still at the daycare full time and balancing all that. And then from there, I found myself in the gym
Right.
and I would take up because I was always used to being so active. I started going to the gym, but I started out like everybody else. I
Right.
didn't know much.
Just work
Just go
out.
on the treadmill for like 3 miles and then not lift light weights. And
Right.
then I started, getting more comfortable and I really fell in love with it.
Right.
So from there, I was still working and I would just go to the gym. And then um, what happened was people started noticing me and
Right.
they were like,
So
oh,
a
like you, yeah,
transformation a little
they
bit.
were like, oh, they wanted me to train them. So I would take friends in and go to
Right.
the gym with them. And then, yeah, from there, I don't know
Right.
if I'm going too
No,
ahead
it's
with
okay. And then,
myself with
so you,
everything.
you could tell a little bit about your occupation.
Yeah.
Obviously, what do you do for a living?
Yeah, so I'm the owner of Christina C. Fitness, and it's a female-only personal training studio
Yeah. And it's
where,
intense. I've been there.
yeah, it's very intense. My
Yeah.
girls are wonderful. It's amazing because they start off, just like I did,
Right.
not knowing much, and then watching these girls expand and really like they are so strong. I have girls lifting like 405 in
Wow.
there. They're all just it's like a powerhouse. You walk in and it's a judgment free zone. The girls are just all encouraging of one another. They end up following each other on social media. It's like a little community that we
Yeah.
built. So it's wonderful because even the girls that come in and maybe they're beginners,
Right.
and I have the girls that have been with me for 4 or 5 years, they also always tell me how welcoming they feel. My girls will see them, they're like, you got it, girl. I was struggling too. Don't worry.
And
So
they
it's
don't
like
have to worry
really
about
nice
men
environment. Right.
gawking at
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. That's a great thing too. Because I have some girls that are, insecure
Yeah.
and they're not comfortable
Right.
with I feel like as women too, even myself when I go to gyms too, it is
Yeah, it's
very,
hard.
yeah, it's hard sometimes. And
Sure.
having that safe space for women is just,
Yeah.
it's amazing to provide for them. Yeah.
And so how did you turn going just from becoming like helping some friends, and
Yeah.
how did you go into like professional, and did you get licensed? Did you have to go back
hmm
to school? Like there's people maybe out there that want to become personal trainers, and it's a lot of commitment.
Yes, for sure. So I was just training, my friends for fun. And then what the manager offered me a job
hmm
at New York Sports Club on Bronxdale.
They gave you a first
And
shot.
yeah, yeah, for sure. And he definitely showed me the way for a lot of things. I remember
hmm
he like one day, and he was like a big dude, and he was like, I want you to put me through a session. I was like, oh my God, I was so scared. And I did it. And then that just kind of helped me a little bit along the way, but I still worked full time at the daycare, and then I would work there all day, and then I'd go to the gym, and I had a small clientele. I got my certification, so I didn't have to go back to school. I just did an online certification,
Right.
and I already had all of my CPR licensing from the daycare. So from there, well, it's a little funny. I was, we were under new management. I was there for probably a year. I had maybe 5, 6 girls. It wasn't that many. And we were under new management,
Yeah.
and he was like telling me I had to start like doing like cleaning or doing things, and I was like, okay, like
That's not for
not
me.
in my not in my
Right.
job description. So all the workers, all of the kids I was working with, like, you better put your 2 weeks in before you get fired, because it's going to look bad if you get fired.
Right.
So I was like, oh, okay. So from there, I started brainstorming. I'm like, okay, what can I do from here? I could take 4 or 5 girls. Maybe I could bring them somewhere else.
Right.
So I was sitting back and forth, and I'm like, I don't know where to go with that. I don't know what to do. Where should I bring them? I should definitely leave here though, right? So
That gym ended up closing anyway, so.
yeah, exactly. So years prior, this is funny to just like the things that happen, is I was working out when I was only 18 in Planet Fitness, right where around the block from my gym right now.
Right.
And a kid came up to me, and he was like, are you a personal trainer? Now, at that time, I was definitely not in the shape that I was. I was petite, like just starting out. And I was like, no, not at all. And then he's like, my father has a CrossFit gym around the block. He's like, you should come check out the class. And I was like, okay. So I dragged my friend Marissa with me. I was like, let's go to the class.
See what it's about.
So we went to the class, and I met the father, and I was talking to the father, and then that never like we never ended up signing up, or whatever the case may be. We were young. And I ended up becoming really close to the kid. He was from Fordham Prep. He knew all of my friends.
Right.
So Joe and I became really close. We'd hit the clubs together with all of my friends, his friends.
Right.
And he was like,
From the Bronx too?
Yeah, he's from Ford. We went to Fordham Prep, so he's from the Bronx. His dad owned that building.
Right.
So years went by, 3, 4 years. We were so cool. And then I lost touch with him, and I was working at New York Sports Club. So all of a sudden, I was on the phone with my mom, and I'm sitting in New York Sports Club. And I'm like, what do you think I should do? She's like, why don't you call Joe? Maybe his father has a place downstairs for you. So I was like, that's not a bad idea. So I called him up, and I was like, hey, like, what's going on with your dad's space downstairs? Do you think that he would open to renting it for me? Whatever the case may be. I was like, I have 4 clients. We'll say, I didn't have many. I didn't think anything of it. I was just like, I was 22. I was just like, just going along with it.
Maybe make a business out of it.
Exactly. So I met with him, and we were just talking. He showed me the space. He's like, I only run 1 class out of it. He's like, so I was going to Florida that same week, and I was like, listen, maybe we'll figure something out. So he called me while I was away, and he gave me the opportunity to be down there.
Nice.
And and literally,
It's in Pelham Bay?
Yes, it's in Pelham Bay. And when I say within, I think like 2 weeks, I had girls messaging me before I was even there. I was in Florida, and they were like, yeah, we'd like to start Monday at 6 a.m. I was like, well, I guess I'll be there Monday, 6 a.m. And I had no idea what I was getting myself into. They're like, what are your prices? I didn't even have prices established.
Wow.
I knew I was just a beginner. I was just jumping right into it. And whenever they needed me, or whoever needed me, I was there.
That's great.
So
how long ago was that?
This was 2019.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So I started doing that, and then I remember I fixed up the whole entire place, and then I was still working at the daycare, and then I would go there and then go back and back.
2 jobs.
Yes, I was doing 2 jobs. And from there, I had Gianna Giampia, and she brought all her bakery crew to me, all Contis. So I would have like 15 girls at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
And it kind of just blew up from there. And I remember I was like, my parents really didn't.
No advertising, no marketing,
nothing. I didn't have,
no social media, just word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
That's the best way to build it.
And I couldn't even believe it. I remember I came home one day. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I said to my mom and dad, like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm managing 30 something clients right now.
Right.
I'm still changing diapers during part-time, like in the morning. And then, who really helped me was my landlord,
Yeah.
because my mom's like, I wish I could help you, but
I don't know anything
I don't
about
know
this
anything about
business.
this business.
Right.
And my dad did own a business years ago, but that
Yeah,
was,
different type of
yeah, different
business.
times. And he was in, it was like a supermarket. So
Right.
it was completely different.
Right.
So they weren't really, they were like, I'm so sorry. Like my
Right.
mom tried her best. My dad, they were
But you're good
supportive. They
with
were there for
people,
support
and
for
you're good.
sure.
You have a good way about you, and you're outgoing and
Yeah.
friendly. So that's really important in
Yeah.
business. You know that, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, these girls are
Right.
like that. I always
You're
said if
welcoming,
I've never
and
felt a day, I don't think I've ever woke up and was like, I don't want to go to
right.
work. What I love what I do. I'm like, I can't imagine my life without it. This
Yeah.
is like, that's my
No,
social hour.
that's
It's like
it.
these are girls are like, they're my friends, they text me,
Right.
whatever. I go to weddings, I go to baby showers.
You
They've
become
been with me
good
for so
friends and
long.
family. It's the same with me
Absolutely.
in my business. When I sold a house to someone,
Yeah.
obviously you become friendly with them.
Hmm.
They invite you to their house. You have coffee, you have dessert or dinner.
Yeah.
And some people even invite you to their weddings and then you're looking for their kids' houses,
Hmm.
houses for their kids and their families and their cousins. It's like
Yeah.
everything comes full circle and
Yeah.
and then later on they have kids themselves. They're inviting you to their kids' parties and it's crazy.
I know.
So it's a great way to
It's a,
do business.
yeah, and it's
I
a great
really feel
feeling.
that's a important part of
Yeah, I
business.
never, and that was a big thing too, is I never chased like the outcome or the money. I never, I just stayed true to, and I still to this day, like
Yeah.
that's,
You're helping
that's of
people, your
course, yeah,
service, and it's a goodwill, and you're going to
absolutely.
get it back
Yeah,
tenfold.
yeah.
So when you're not working and you're not training people, what do you like to do for fun?
Um,
What's your time off look
Obviously
like?
go to the gym. I love being in the gym.
Yeah,
I love to travel. Not that I get much of it
right.
anymore, because
You're on a tight schedule.
yeah, yeah,
You got to make
for
time.
sure.
You have to make time to travel.
I know.
Block out your calendar. This week I'm going away. So you
Yeah,
need to really. That's part of being a business owner. As you
I have a
start
hard time
growing,
doing that.
you
Yeah.
need to start working on the business, not in the
Hmm.
business. And we'll talk a little bit about that. And it's not easy because
No.
everyone wants you.
Yes.
Just like me,
Yes.
everyone wants Joe. Is Joe there? No, he's out on the road, and they hang up.
Yeah.
So how do you get away from that and still have fun? Like you need to do things that incorporate some recreation, sporting events, or maybe have a party at the gym or
Right.
something where you're having some time off because you
Yeah.
need that.
Yeah.
As you get
I
older,
find
time
I
goes
find that
quick.
difficult to do
You need to
right
really
now.
start like thinking about that.
Yeah.
I mean, you still got to make money, you still got a business to run and
Yes.
clients to take care of, but your recreation is your time.
Because even when I'm like away or something, the girls are always messing, which I don't mind at all.
Right.
I don't mind it. But it's like they want to work out. So it's like if I do take some time off, like, where are you gonna go? Where are you
Yeah.
going? How
Yeah.
long are you gonna be back? When are you gonna be back? So it is hard
Well,
to find that
you are
balance right
doing a
now.
toy drive, so we'll
Yes.
talk about that.
Yeah.
Obviously, tell everyone the toy drive you're doing
Yeah, so
for Christmas.
yep.
So
So
it's
this Saturday, the Fight for Two Foundation, it's their 5th annual toy drive.
right.
They donate all the toys to pediatric cancer patients at
That's great.
Yale hospitals. I
So
do.
anyone could come to the
Yeah,
gym
so
and just
I'm
drop
saying,
toys off.
yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm offering the workout class for free of entry. They just have to bring a toy for that
Okay.
day. So
How do they contact you? Just
their social media. I have a booking link
right.
on my website. I have it on my Instagram,
Okay.
and they could just book it.
What's the website?
ChristinaCFitness.com.
Okay. Great. So
Yes.
they could go on, book the class, and then bring the toy.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah. So this is actually my first year doing that,
Nice.
which I'm very excited about. I worked with the Fight for Two Foundation for breast cancer for the 3rd year.
Nice. It's
And
important.
yeah, we were actually their top donor for the 3rd year in a row in October,
Wow.
which I always say I couldn't do that
What
without the girls
what made you
beside
pick
me.
that? Is it something that you
So
just
a close
decided?
friend of mine, I always wanted to fundraise for breast cancer, and I wanted to find a foundation. And a close friend of mine said that she knew somebody, and it was called the Fight for Two Foundation. It was actually a woman that was diagnosed with cancer during her pregnancy.
Oh, wow.
So she had to go through tons of treatment and chemotherapy during her pregnancy. And when I heard that story, I was just like, you never hear of that,
Right.
right? You never hear of a pregnant woman with cancer battling that and having to go through chemotherapy. Thankfully, her and her daughter are okay now. But I wanted to
Great.
bring awareness. I thought, especially with a female only training studio, and it's lots of empowerment in there. And
Sure.
I work with pregnant women too, and I have a lot of mothers. So I was like, this is something I want to bring a lot of awareness to. And yeah, so we did it for 3 years in a row,
Nice.
and now they also do a toy drive. So I was excited to jump on board with that, and I'm also doing toys for tots too. So I have both of those
A lot
boxes.
going on.
Yeah, yeah, whatever I can do, and I feel like
Well,
I'm
especially after
very happy to
Thanksgiving,
have this
everybody wants to burn
platform.
off those calories.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you should
yeah,
have a
yeah,
busy week.
yeah.
Good.
So I do feel very honored to have that platform to do this.
That's great
And I
work.
wouldn't be able to do it without all of these women besides me as well. So
Yeah.
they make that all possible. So
Well,
I'm
whatever
just a
we could do to
forefront,
help
but
you, obviously, we'll
yes,
give
I
give it a
appreciate
best
it.
shot.
Ashley, your daughter,
Yeah.
she's like one of the, my most loyal clients. She's always there. She's always so
Yeah.
supportive. She supports everything too.
Yeah, she's a
And
good kid.
that just, yes. And
And she
like
works
a
out
lot of
hard.
girls. Yeah.
You
Oh,
should
yeah.
push her. She's
Everybody
strong.
loves Ashley.
Yeah.
Everyone, as soon as Ashley, I told her, it's like she needs a sponsorship because everybody looks for Ashley.
So obviously, I always ask this question: your dreams. Where do you see yourself, your business? I know you're looking for another location in 5 years.
Yes. So definitely to expand the business
Yeah.
within 5
Hopefully,
years.
we can help you find a spot in
Yes.
a commercial location. We'll do our best to find something.
Yes, I would love that.
Yeah.
Definitely to expand the business. I would love to bring people on board
Right.
to trainers and
Right.
other women. A
Would you
lot of
branch out
places.
into men or just
I
stick?
don't think so
No.
because
Stick
what
female. Yeah.
this is, yes,
You have your
exactly.
little
And a
niche
lot of
market.
girls,
Yeah.
I do online personal training as well, and a lot of those girls are from all over the state.
Right.
Like, so I have girls in California and Texas, and they were like, oh my God, like I wish this was in Texas. I
Right.
wish this was in California. And
Maybe franchise it
yes,
one day.
exactly. Yeah, that would be amazing.
We'll
So
get
to
some
even
we'll get some
expand.
seed money for you. Get some investors.
Yes. So to definitely create that
That's important.
empowerment, and I do love it. I always get asked, "Oh, you're gonna expand to that?" I'm like, "No, they get their own. Well, a guy could do their own thing over there."
Yeah. Well, I don't see any women only
Right.
gyms or trainers. It's mostly
Hmm.
women working out in gyms with men.
Yes.
So you have a unique platform.
Yes.
But obviously what I like about you is that you're open to everyone. It's not like you want to the transformation that you see some of these girls go through. It's like, wow, they're.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they looked okay before, but now you're like, oh,
Absolutely.
wow,
I
the
think too
transformation is
is
amazing.
that's something too. I have women that are 18, 19,
Right.
and I have women that are
Right.
62. And I think
It's
it's
never too late to
important.
stay in shape,
Absolutely.
healthy.
And I have mothers that work out with their daughters. And it's amazing to see that transformation too, because you don't realize how important it is to be active as you get older.
Right.
I try to explain that to my parents too, because it's
Exactly.
every day. Like, when you pick up your groceries, you need to be
Yeah.
strong to pick
I
up your
mean,
groceries. And
it's
creating that environment too for women of all ages, body types. I have women that have gastric bypass, so maybe they're a little bit,
right.
you know, they're not too fond of going to gyms,
Sure.
public gyms. A lot of men tend to approach women too in the gyms, maybe saying, correcting
Right.
their form or something,
They
and
don't
I
wanna
think
they
that
just want to work out and leave me alone.
and that shuts down women
Yeah.
too. I've
Yeah.
hear that stories a lot, that a man either went up to them and told them they were doing something wrong, and they're like, okay, I can never
Yeah.
come back, because
Yeah, they
starting
get
out,
intimidated
it is very intimidating to start out. So yeah, the environment that's created is just,
Right. Well,
it's
I
amazing.
mean,
Yeah.
you're doing great work. I mean, it's amazing to have someone so young and smart and entrepreneurial
Yes. Thank
that's
you.
great Bronx upbringing.
Yep.
So we wish you continued success.
Thank
Thank you for
you.
coming. Tell everyone obviously how they could reach you. Instagram, you're big on Instagram.
Yes.
Your Instagram page?
Yes, so my Instagram handle's Christina, Christina, C Fitness, with an underscore.
And what else do you do? Do you do any TikTok videos or anything
Yes,
like
I
that?
have TikTok.
And you
I
have your
also use
website,
YouTube.
obviously.
I have my
Yeah.
website. Yep,
So
and
they could book
we,
right on there and
yeah,
just go come to you and book a class.
yep,
It's great.
yeah, and we also expanded to clothes that I
Oh,
started.
that's right.
Yeah, I
You have
have
a
a
clothing
clothing
brand.
brand. Another thing, my girls drop as soon as the drop comes in,
Yeah.
they
They're
wipe it all
buying it out.
clean. Yeah, they're just amazing. Like it's truly a
Well,
blessing.
show some
Oh
of
yeah,
what it looks
this
like.
is both all
Yeah.
my brand.
It's great.
Yeah, it's so cool too. The girls will just be
Yeah, it's
all over.
comfortable and
Yeah.
it's
Oh
sleek
yeah, I take
and
a lot of time
yeah,
to into I make sure I wear it for a while. I get samples, I wear it for a couple of months. I see how it washes, wears before I dish them out to the
great.
girls. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever get approached by any like other companies looking to
Yeah,
come
I
in?
have.
Yeah. So do they
I
want you
have.
to advertise their stuff and
Yeah,
pay
so
you?
that's the hard part too
Yeah.
because I am my own
Endorsements.
brand.
Right.
So I never want to cross roads too. I want to stay very authentic. And
Right.
um, another thing is a lot of people want your name and whatever, but I stay true. Anything that I work with or I work behind, I love them and I would use them myself. I'm not just doing, and I think a lot of people sometimes fall into that
Yeah.
too,
Well,
where you
they
just,
go for the money and they give up
yeah.
the whole. They lose sight of what's really important.
Yeah, exactly. So if I'm not going to wear it or I don't love it
Right.
myself
You're not
or
going
I
to
don't
endorse
use it,
something that's
exactly.
not you.
So there's definitely a lot of brands that I wouldn't mind working with,
Sure.
but when the time
Keep
comes.
your own brand
Yeah.
for now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yes.
Good. Well, thank you for coming. It's been great
Thank
learning
you.
about you and your business. And thank you, everyone. Coffee with Cosentino, Joe Cosentino. Merry Christmas and have a Happy New Year.